Hi, I'm Amanda McCoy-Flanagan.
And I'm Ginny Oliva-Smith. Welcome to Soul Rising.
On this podcast, you will hear honest, off-the-cuff, vulnerable conversations about all things love, loss, and connection.
Deep and meaningful conversations sure to pull at your heartstrings and enlighten your soul.
Again, welcome. It's time to let your soul rise.
Are you so comfortable in longing that when you reach a goal, you raise the bar higher instead of appreciating how far you've come? Do you constantly want and need more instead of savoring what you have right now? Does happiness seem ever elusive, always slightly, just out of reach? Do you have a fear not just of failure, but also of success? Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up? Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to Soul Rising, episode 7. You guys are in for a treat today. We are on like the sun.
Yes.
Like the soul rising.
Honestly, though, it does feel like that. It's been a crazy season. I'm sure everybody's had crazy seasons, but we're upon that season of graduations and things changing and shifting. And that's like across, you know, our whole country. I'm sure people are going through that, whether it's high school or college, all the things, right? We go through that season. It feels like we're jumping into finally summer where we have this ability to like take
chill out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But then also tackle like all the life things that you don't have time for. It feels like we're always chasing.
Yes, we get to play a little catch up this time of year. It's also Gemini season. Just want to throw that out there for my Gemini.
I know a Gemini. I know a Gemini.
Yeah, me.
Yep.
Right,
her name's Amanda.
Right here.
Dude, I love you guys. You guys are my favorite, and also I'm terrified of you guys because you're the most fun, amazing, like inspired, incredible people. But if you get bored, it's scary to watch how fast you could like
I know
cut people off and walk away from a situation.
It's definitely a challenge. I get bored super easily. It's so true.
Yeah, every Gemini.
Our brains, or a lot of us, I would say, are just like on overdrive.
Yes,
and like I could have like I could have like 20 different things going on. I'm like the master multitasker, which I'm finding out is actually not a good thing. Like this
really?
There's like this whole new thing that like we can't really multitask. Our brains are not set up to do that. I always thought it was like, oh, I'm so
superpower.
Awesome. I could do all this. Yeah, it's my superpower. And it's like, you're actually not allowing yourself. I guess I'm not allowing myself to go
fully
be present and to go like all into this whatever one thing I'm thinking about, but I can't help it. Things just pop into my head, and it's like, all right, simmer down. I'll get to you later. Right? I have to like, consciously put stuff on the back burner, and but then I get like afraid, like I'm not gonna like remember it, or it's not gonna
jump back to that.
Yeah, like it's not gonna come to me the same way, you know.
Inspired. That's what I mean. You guys are like amazingly, divinely inspired, but at the same time, it's like. Whew. And this is of every Gemini I've ever known. It's like they have to be stimulated and growing and going. I think you guys are air signs, if I remember right.
Yes.
But it's like you got to be moving with the wind.
Otherwise, what do you?
I am water. I am. Let's get so deep on emotion forever and ever. Like I'm the opposite, which is great because I'm like, let's sit in it. No, deeper. Go. Keep going.
And what sign?
Scorpio.
I'm not. That's why I couldn't remember because you're in my phone. I have people's birthdays in my phone. Everybody's always amazed. How did you remember? How did you know that? I put it in my phone.
I had something go reminders.
Yeah. So and I saw yours recently for something I was searching on Ginny, you know, and it came up, and I was like, Scorpio.
Yeah. Wait, what?
That's not a Scorpio. Like
so Scorpio.
Like, but you don't seem to have that like Scorpio thing about you that I know.
Which
like
one? Because we have a lot of things.
But it's almost like a mysterious.
Oh,
the word sneaky, but it's not like a malicious, sneaky thing. I can't like get a hold on you, sort of thing.
Yes.
Like I feel like you're kind of hard. Scorpios, not you personally, or the Scorpios that I've known anyway.
Yeah,
kind of hard to like
get to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're not like that.
Also, my moon, I think it's in Pisces too. So that's like more water. But I have to have some air in there because I got those. You got those
other traits. I don't know much about Scorpio.
It's a good learn. It's the good stuff. But yes, what I do know is water signs are always digging for the deepest point and of emotion too. Sometimes deeper than we need to. And that air signs are very much in movement. Let's go. Like very action oriented.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a Gemini through and through. Talk about like the two faces, you know? It's not like I'm two-faced. It's not like you can't trust me or I'm, going to betray you. I can understand two completely different sides of the same subject. Like that I feel like is a superpower where I could see how you feel and I could see how you feel.
Oh, yeah.
Completely. Of course, I will have my own take on things, but I could really go in and like explore like multiple sides of things. And for me, that's how my two faces kind of show up. That like you could have me in one conversation and be like, oh yeah, she's with me or she gets me. And then I could have this other conversation with you over there that you're like, but wait a minute, that's not that I'm saying or speaking differently, but just
you're
I
able
could
to
be with you and it's still authentic. It's not like I'm lying in one place. It's like I could really truly be in both of those different spaces.
Shift in both of and quickly.
And quickly.
That's the thing. It's whereas like water sets are like, oh, but wait, all the feelings don't land on. Or Geminis are like, I'm out with the wind. Like I said, I am out.
I love astrology. I actually want to get further
It's
into
good stuff. If nothing else, it's like, it's always, I don't know, to me.
It's always right. It's always freaking right. I mean, like, it's crazy. I'll read my horoscope. I get emailed to me every day. And I'm like, wait, I don't want to read it first because I don't want to then like manifest whatever
it says. Yeah.
So I try to wait and like read it later and see if it's true. And like 9 out of 10 times, it's like, how the hell do they know?
The planets hold those energies, right? That's what it's all about. Like where the planets were the moment you came into the world. So there's got to be something to it, right? I mean, the moon, gravity of the moon can literally shift the tides. There has to be something in the rest.
Yes,
but
totally.
Gemini season, action, year. I could use some of that air. I can always use the air, even when it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, air, let's go. Let's go do some wind sailing.
And by the time we air this episode, it'll be June 2nd.
Yep.
And June is just my favorite month. I grew up in New York and our school went from Labor Day to the end of June.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're in Colorado.
So the end of June?
Yeah, it was like June, like 21st, my second, like around there. It was like that week.
Of your birthday.
So it was always my birthday. It was always like the summer starting, school ends. It was so much at once. I always loved the summer and we had a brutal winter here in Colorado. Oh my
It lasted forever. It felt like.
And then it just rained like most of May. So, I mean, everything's green and beautiful for like the next probably 2 weeks. And then it'll start turning brown.
Then it'll be brown, but as of right now, it's very lush.
It is gorgeous. And I've never appreciated the nice weather and the month of June.
Yes.
And all of that just, I've never appreciated more than I do right now.
That's something I kept saying too. I was like, we're really going to be welcoming and joyful of the hot sun when it arrives because, it's like, when's the sun going to finally be here without rain?
That speaks to what we're going to talk about today. It took a little bit to get into this episode, but I hope you guys have enjoyed our banter. We did.
We like to banter.
So this episode we're calling Let Life Be Good. I put a blog out yesterday about it, and we're going to dive further into what that means. And as I was writing this, I was thinking, it's got to be the good life. That song?
I love that song.
That song. It just made you feel so good. Oh, my God.
Good life. Yes, that's
we
such a good
talk about like living not just our best life, but for me personally, why don't I allow myself to embrace that good life like right now?
This moment of like, it's almost like you anticipate it, you have this goal set for it, it arrives and you somehow jump out of the moment and you're like setting a different bar or like, well, Amanda had an incredible launch of her book. I got to be there. We had a virtual, it was amazing. We got to hear all your people talk about your book.
Thank you, everybody who showed up. If you're listening, thank you so much. The stuff that you shared was so meaningful and like really impacted me a lot.
True, man. It
really
was
keeps
so
me going.
True. But I mean, after reading this too, I was like, Amanda probably really strikes a genuine chord because you just released a book. Like, that's a massive deal. And it took a long time to get to that. So I'm sure that you can speak to. Are you letting yourself enjoy the moment right now?
You know, I have to like consciously do that. Like, I don't know why. I'm not reveling in this like celebratory. It's like, I allow myself really. To me, it's all about allowing myself to be in that space and appreciate and really feel the joy, feel the acknowledgement, feel the achievement, celebrate all of that and what I've done. But I think there's a couple of different things. It's like this fear almost of like, okay, well, first of all, is it going to be a success? right?
Oh, right. Well, especially when you put so much energy into it because you took that leap of faith of this creative spark and you ran.
Yeah,
So
and it
the
took
idea of like,
yeah, like now it's here. And it took so much out of me, like mentally, emotionally, physically, the amount of hours sitting at the computer and the feeling, because it's an inspirational memoir and it's about grief and pain and my brother's death and my marriage. And it's just, I was reliving and reliving and reliving this
you were
experience.
vulnerable. You really, really let yourself be vulnerable for everybody. Anybody who hasn't gotten the book, please go get it because you will be
Thank
You
you.
ha- yeah, and I mean, thank you for having the courage to do it because it's very much reflective on things that are not easy to just say, hey, I'm going to be really honest about all this and like bring it all out and relive it, like you said. Because of that, I think that's probably where your healing's coming from, right? But it took a lot, and here you
Yeah.
are now. All that hard part now it's on paper.
Yeah. So now
Yeah.
it's like I try to remember, and this is like kind of a tactic that I use when I can recognize, hey, you're not appreciating the moment. You're not really in it. I remember that the success is already achieved. The number of books I sell does not indicate the success. And really underneath all of that is my value, right? My
course.
value, my self-worth. Like very often we put a number or a goal,
Yeah.
or if I reach that, then I'm going to be good enough, or I'm going to feel good enough about myself finally. But to me, the success is already done. And the book is birthed out into the world. Like it's live. It's live. It's energy. It's its own energy of itself.
Yeah.
It's out there. And it's also the healing that's in those pages is the success that,
Yeah,
that
so
I've been able
much.
to go through that. And not just for me, but for my children and for the ancestors who have passed and for the people who are coming up behind me. Like Ginny talks a lot about this. We affect 7 generations behind. 7 generations ahead. I know, like I could feel my grandparents up there. Like I see them right now, like cheering, like their arms are up and now like, you did it, girl. You know, stuff that they couldn't do that they really wanted to do.
You shifted the lineage because you carry the same, again, even not just spiritually, we carry DNA. So it's like you shifted all that lineage.
That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. And every single one of us out there is capable of doing that. And if you are interested in doing that, you can glean a little bit of my experience, see how it relates to you, take what you need, take parts of it, implement it into your life, and you could do the same thing. And that's, again, that's where the success is. So talking about success, then I'm also maybe afraid of it being too successful.
Oh gosh, that's scarier. Because
then
what?
Who am I? Who do I become? How does my life change?
Yeah. And also, but what if I was just like imposter syndrome? Like, what if I just faked my way here at this point and then now I'm really going to have to
I'm on the spot.
now I'm going to have to show up.
I got to talk about this.
Right.
I got to show up. Yeah, I have a couple speaking engagements on the books. I got some podcasts coming up. Like now I got to like really show up.
Yes. But the thing is, it has all been genuinely you. You know that you've been in it, like you've been in the thick of it, but how interesting for us that we could be in the thick of it and still coming out the other side of it. We're still not convinced almost.
Yeah. There's some self-doubt. Like when I'm standing there, am I going to go blank? Me in my typical perfectionist way, I'm constantly like replaying the concepts in the book and creating a prescription for this healing. Like I just outlined the whole thing the other day and I'm pulling out different concepts so when I'm teaching this. So I know it's all possible.
Of course,
you know,
it's already there.
It's there. It's done. It's done.
And it's your life. It's genuinely what you've gone through. So
just tell the truth, right? Yeah. Like when we speak in recovery, when we share in recovery, which by the way, recovery and speaking in meetings and being vulnerable in order to save my life has given me the tools to be able to do this. That was a question the other night on the Zoom, to be able to really just bare my soul like this. Having that experience of sharing that stuff, I know that I can show up and just tell the truth, right? The first time I spoke in a meeting, I was like, what did I say? And my sponsor was like, just tell the truth.
That's the beauty of those rooms. I've never seen it anywhere else where it's almost like there's just this pass of like, the more authentic you can be in here, like the better everyone is.
And the more effed up you are, the cooler you are.
It's like earning stripes. And when you think you're real messed up and then you're like, oh, dang, this homie over here, I'm like, yes, he needs to be my friend. He's got crazier stories than me.
I get you.
Yeah, like 100%. But that success thing, I think I still struggle with that idea. And I'm not somebody who's, I can get perfectionist on certain things, but I know for you, that's like your safety. Like you want to make sure you know things are where they are, that the orders are coming in, that where things are at, that's how things work for you. I think that idea of setting a bar to a certain point or being like, okay, well, now I've succeeded. What's the next level? And okay, I made it this far, but am I made up of what's going to be required of me to actually make it to the next level? Can I do it? It's almost that responsibility. in a way.
Like a challenge almost.
a
Like if I've
challenge.
gone here,
Yep.
what else is going to be asked of me? Like, what else do you want? I talk to God a lot. I talk to Spirit a lot. I tell my brother Jeremy all the time, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Yeah.
But that's scary.
It's terrifying.
It's
Yeah.
what we're called to do, but can I do it?
Oh,
Right?
can I get out of my comfort zone? That's the other thing. Because it's like, hey, guess what? You're capable of doing X, Y, and Z. And it's like, but it's going to require
Yes.
these actions and this ability of letting go of fear or jumping into something else.
more work, more growth.
Yes.
More is going to be exposed as I'm jumping into these next levels of things.
Yeah.
As I'm meeting those bars. But for me, you talked about the perfectionist thing. I will come just up to it and then I'll
Yeah.
raise it higher. Then I'll come just up to it and I'll raise it higher. It's
Almost
like
torturing yourself a little bit.
I don't often allow myself the feeling of achievement.
Interesting, huh?
And I think it goes back to, I'm sure, childhood wounds and just the way that I grew up. But the perfectionism in me is what drives that.
It's interesting.
You would almost think that like I would allow myself to feel that and then I would like revel in that and then move the bar. But I don't. I move the bar before I actually
Beforehand.
get there.
You never really get to let yourself feel the full completion of that
Yes.
cycle.
So it's like this continual striving. I must have gotten the message somewhere.
That is what makes your value
Yes.
the striving.
Yes. Once I finally get there, then I'm going to feel really good.
Then the value is validated.
Yeah.
If you've
And then if I get there, am I actually going to feel that way? I think that's what it is. I think there's a fear that if I actually reach that goal and actually allow myself to feel that, am I going to be fulfilled?
Oh yeah.
Am I going to feel good enough about myself as far as I'm expecting to feel? Like I'm
Yeah.
expecting to get this goal and then I'm going to be X, Y, Z.
Then I'll be at peace or then I'll feel good. It's so interesting because I've never thought of this. And as you were speaking about this right now, like you raised the bar in a different way, but it's kind of what we did chasing our like dopamine, whatever our thing was, whether it was drinking, right? Is there
Mhm.
any part of the chase? I don't know. Do you
Yes.
think that
It's all about the chase.
the chase? Yeah.
It's all about the chase. And yeah, and then you could also talk about it. It's all about these feelings of inadequacy that maybe I don't deserve
Yeah.
to feel really good about myself. Like it's an
Yes.
uncomfortable place for me to be. And I think we also grew up, a lot of us in our generation grew up with like this, it's not humble or like you can't appreciate your achievement because you're showing off.
My daughter says that now, and we constantly have to be like, Sandy. No, she's like, that's not okay though. I can't walk away, and act like I'm really proud of that performance. And I'm like, why? Well, because that's being arrogant.
Yeah. And I think there's definitely a fine line between arrogance or ego and confidence and
Yes.
self-worth.
Right.
And being able to look at yourself and say, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yes.
Like I'm allowed to feel good about myself.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's part of that, right? That inner child we have that somehow never feels quite like, I fully accept everything that you are in all of your flaws and all of your things. It's like we hold on to this sense of, no, I'm going to replay the message to myself that I'm almost good enough, but maybe not quite there. If I work a little harder,
If I perform better.
if I could be more like so-and-so, just a little bit,
Yes,
Then-
exactly.
then I will feel that sense of, wow, I really am worth it.
Yeah.
How wild is that?
Give myself my own approval because maybe in my mind it's like, well, if I could just be as good enough as so-and-so, then you'll approve of me or you'll love me. And then I internalize that and say, I got to keep being better and I got to keep being better. And, so like there is something to be said about striving for
Sure.
greatness and
Yeah.
for
Yes, there is.
constantly pushing and trying to grow and stuff like that. But like at what point do you stop and just say, so we have this phrase in our house. This is something Jim came up with. A lot of my material, by the way, still for my husband. He's
great.
freaking amazing. He's so
Jim
funny.
is amazing.
He is so funny. And a lot of people that know him might think he's like serious or like
Yeah.
not see it, but like when he lets his guard down, like
Yeah.
he's great. He just comes out with these crazy things. But so we have this joke in our house and we call it the period of appreciation.
Oh.
So what happens around here, is Jim will do something. He's very handy. Like he works with wood.
He's so
makes
handy.
things. Yeah, he made like a sectional in our yard. Like he's just really gifted.
Tom is like obsessed by the way he's all, as soon as I can, I want Jim to show me how to make the pallet couches out there. Did he do them out of pallets or something else? We made them out of
it's
like
just-
wood, right?
Yeah, no, it's not pallet. I want to say 2x4s, but
Yeah.
not the size
He
of a
builds,
2x4.
listen, people, there's their yard, and when you go outside, you're like, whoa, I feel like I'm in a mountain chateau.
That's all him.
There's a shower out there.
He made an outdoor shower. It's turned into like a
It's
Zen
amazing.
rock garden,
Yeah.
which now I got to pull stupid pine needles. I was so pissed the other day. I was so tired, and he was like harassing me to go outside and clean up this yard.
Yeah,
And
he
I'm
doesn't
like,
play either. He gets on a mission, and you could tell. It's
Yeah.
like, I rolled up today, and I was all, oh, check this out. Jim is
the whole
the
garage.
garage. And he was mopping the floor. I'm like, this man, this is amazing.
He's no joke.
So, yes,
So
appreciation.
He finished something. He finished like a console table or something. And before he could even get it in place, before we could even set it up and make it look pretty, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, what's next? What are we going to do next? So you're going to like do the end tables? Or you're going to... And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, chill, girl. Why don't we take a little period of appreciation?
I love that.
So that buys him some time in between
Nice.
projects to
Yeah.
just...
Period of appreciation. Yes, Jim.
So-
I'm using it.
I want to take that and turn that into like an emotional period of appreciation.
Yeah.
Can I just appreciate what I've done? Or do I have to keep hustling and keep trying? It's like this fear that like I'm going to miss something if I don't
Yeah.
make the phone call, if I don't send an email, or if I don't hit the road with my books or whatever it is. And yes, I do have to keep moving. I'm not
Mhm.
suggesting to anybody that we just kind of like, okay, I'm done. No, that's not how you
I
market
read
a
a book. That's it.
Yeah. Somebody was like, oh, that's so great. You wrote the book now, like you're done? And I'm like, yeah.
Not even close, right?
Now's when rubber meets the road. But can I still keep moving forward in a balanced pace and still appreciate
How far
what
you've
I've
come.
done? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not like throw that whole thing away. Like, okay, that was great. I did that. Okay. All right. Put that away. Now I'm going to keep looking for something else.
For the next thing. It's kind of like planting seeds. You spend all this time watering them. Can you let yourself like stop and smell the roses for a little
Mhm.
bit while they're there and start being like, all right, cool. I see a bloom. Let's go.
Yeah. Or maybe set something else in motion, but still be able to smell the roses and not be so focused on what I have set in motion.
Right.
Right.
I got to get to watering these new ones like
and I got to
immediately.
prune them and I got to talk to them. And
Yeah.
I've been telling my kids to talk to their plants.
It works. I swear it works.
No, that's what they say.
Yeah, it works.
So can I not put all my eggs in this new basket and then throw this other one out the window? Like, okay, that was great, but that was so yesterday or
Right.
last week and great. But
What's the new hunt? It's
Yeah.
like the new hunt.
this all speaks to me about my my addiction to healing. We say fear of missing out. I say fear of missing out on growth.
Mm.
I have this like fear that if I'm not constantly peeling the layers and doing the work, and
Right.
I think maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm okay the way I am right now.
Exactly.
Maybe I don't need to keep searching and I want to be better and I want to be better. Like, okay, I guess maybe I'll know when the time comes when
Yeah.
something presents,
Yeah.
but maybe I'm okay just the way I am.
Just letting yourself float in whatever it is, almost like letting the new things come in instead of having to like absolve the old traumas.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's part of it. Is just like that's all we've known the better part of our lives is we're familiar with the ghosts. We're familiar with the traumas.
Mm-hmm. I thought about that with this book. I was like, why am I keeping this pain alive? Like I've
Like an old friend.
Yeah, like I've healed this stuff, but now I'm gonna have to talk about it
Right.
for like the next couple of years, probably, or however long. Can I just put this stuff to bed? Am I almost punishing myself in a way by
For
like,
healing about it?
Not for healing, but for how it affected my marriage and landed us in counseling? And I feel like I missed a year of my kid's life after Jeremy's death and the grieving, and I was
Right.
so wrapped up in this. Like I don't have a lot of memories from
Of
like,
that period.
Yeah.
Man, but you went through like the real deal trauma loss, though. That is like a massive loss.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can forgive myself, and I have
Yes.
a chapter on self-compassion. And so I just have to remember the stuff that I wrote in my book really is what it comes down to for me in
Yeah.
order to keep moving forward.
It's like your own roadmap. And while you're
I know.
making one for the rest of us too, but it's probably the best one for
Well,
you.
It's so funny, yeah, because I'll be like in a place or self-doubt, or and I'm like, okay, and then what just comes to me is read your book. Read your book.
It's
Read
there.
your book.
You have these answers. They're like, hey, let me recommend a book for you. Your spirit guides.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I guess the question is, how am I going to relive this story as I tell it? And am I going to use it to punish myself, or am I gonna focus on the healing, right?
Right.
And I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I also have this like built-in self-sabotager
Oh, yeah.
that scares the crap out of me.
Oh, love the self-sabotager. The best. Yeah, that is, what does yours tell you?
My self-sabotager is just like, you have to get in your own way. Like, you must get in your own way or else it's not going to be complete. There's going to be like a missing piece of this experience if you don't
destroy it.
follow up the good stuff with then pulling the house down on yourself, right?
Kind of be part of our recovery brain. Yeah, no, or maybe like
I think it's our inner child
Our inner
type
child.
stuff that we've been talking about, that whole emotional abandonment thing. I don't know why, but I cried on like every single birthday growing up.
you said that.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure why I never just allowed myself to like have fun. And
On
enjoy.
the day that's supposed to be the day that
Yeah.
you had the most fun about you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and celebrating me in my life. So
Yeah.
like I think these young childhood experiences have
Yeah.
shaped my ability to let my life be good, like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even about these big grand things. The way that I can allow myself to let life be good right now is the simple things. So just the fact that you're sitting across the table from me and
Yeah.
I have a friend like you, that is enough for
Right.
the whole day, right? So it speaks to gratitude,
Yes.
right?
But you're somebody who's big. You're really good, and but you understand gratitude. So it's interesting. Like this whole thing is so fascinating to me because you are someone who I feel like has such a good grasp on that. But at the end, when it's about us, maybe we can see for other people, but not always the easiest to see for ourselves.
Yes, I know gratitude. I practice
you know it
gratitude.
well.
But it's
And you
like these-
teach it well, by the way.
Well, thank you. I think it's like this built-in forgetter we talk about in
Oh,
recovery
God.
too, right?
Yeah.
Now, how long do I have to constantly remind myself before this stuff comes second nature? And the good
Mhm.
news is I have been practicing some other things that have become second nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier now for me to just tune into things or be present. Like I don't have
Yeah.
to work so hard at it. If I'm not there, something comes in pretty quickly and it says, be here now. So I think the gratitude will eventually just come, or the
It's a
remembering.
good tool. Super good. It's your go-to in that tool belt. Like
Yes.
gratitude does a lot to
It
help
always-
us shift.
It works all the time,
Yeah, on so many things.
like every single time. First, before gratitude, I have to get humble. I have to say, do I need my name up in shiny lights? Or...
And if I do, let me ask myself the real honest question. Like, is that what I'm looking for? And if so,
Mhm.
what is it in me that still thinks that I need that? If that's the case. So we talked about that before too in previous shows, just our intentions of our chase or our actions, right?
Yeah.
And that's definitely back to that inner child thing.
Yeah, and like you were saying before, it's like this chase, will it actually be as good as I think it's going to be when I get there? What if it's not?
Will it fill the void?
Yes. What if it's a letdown? What if it's like, shit, I thought if I got this job, I thought if I lived in this zip code, I thought if I drove the car, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that I was going to
I'd feel
finally
better.
get that.
Yeah, have the self-love
Yeah.
or find myself worthy or
Yes.
love myself fully.
Yes, that's why it's not about the things. You know, it is
Mm-mm.
not about the things. It's not about the bank account. It's not about the car. It's not about any of that stuff. It all has to happen within. And I knew that I would be able to start this journey and write this book. One of the things that I knew immediately right off the bat when I was like, you're crazy. And then the next thing came in was like, but no. You have enough self-worth in reserves. It might not be there 24/7, but you have it there in reserve that whatever the outcome of this thing is,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to take you to your knees. You're not going to have another breakdown because outside endeavors or achievements or whatever do not define my sense of worth and value. And I have to just continue to remind myself.
To be able to have that different perspective. But that's part of our culture too. There's a lot of people that's where the success is defined. How many things were you able to obtain? We've kind of got that need to consume, whether it's buying the new vehicle or buying the bigger house or buying whatever it is. It all comes down a lot of the time to what kind of power do you have? How many things can you collect?
My dad had a shirt, I'll never forget. He had a shirt growing up. It was black and it had white writing and it said, "He who dies with the most toys wins."
He who dies with the most
He
toys.
who dies with the most toys wins.
Isn't that-
Right?
Yep.
And that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
And that shirt he was wearing in the 80s. So like this, probably since the 50s,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
say it probably all started after the Industrial Revolution. And then like people started to move
American
to the suburbs
dream.
and have nice houses. And
Yeah.
if you had a car, you were like doing well. That's, I think, probably where it all started, maybe where
I'm
that
sure.
shift came from. Like, where does my value come from? It comes
Versus, whoa, I am really good on the loom and I can weave like blankets. And someone
Yes.
being like, dang, that was amazing. Do you see that blanket I did? Like, do you know what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Like, that's my skill.
Yes.
Um,
It shifted from like creativity being valued
just the natural skill, because there's people who will be like, okay, wait, that's what's going to get me the most money. Sweet. I will go to school for 8 years to do the thing. I don't even like it. I hate doing it, but it's going to give me the most money.
It just all speaks to, when are you going to allow yourself to be happy?
Right.
You could try. Go ahead. Go out there, hustle, do what you got to do. Get the house, get the car, get the this, get the white picket fence.
There's nothing wrong with having those things.
Sure. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. But see if they make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they don't, because most likely they won't if you're unhealed inside.
Right. Which most of us have something that's still unhealed.
Everybody. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
If you say you don't, I'm going to call you out on that bullshit right now.
And calling a bullshit. I'm a bullshit. I'm like, sorry, you've got issues too. Unless your name is Jesus. What's up? Or is your name Buddha? Okay, then that's what I thought.
Yeah.
No, they had to work through some things,
even
right?
Jesus. Everybody hated him. I'm sure he went through moments of like,
Yeah.
why does everybody hate me? I'm just trying to be loved.
That's what I'm trying to do, guys. Golly. The gig I signed up for. Seriously, though, it's true. It speaks to a lot. We talk about the connection and lack of connection, too, and what we're doing.
Yeah.
This is a big piece of it.
Yes.
If you're forever hunting, it doesn't allow us to fully connect to one another either. And it also causes us to compare our lives a lot.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. That causes a lot of disconnection. And then you're not connected to the moment. You're not connected to the present. Because if I'm constantly thinking about the future and what I got to do and where I got to go and that's going to make me happy once I get there, I am totally missing today.
Mm-hmm. And everything it's bringing.
Yeah.
You're not, and it's not coming back. Whatever's happening right this moment, it's like a portal of experience. It's all coming in right now. And if you are 90% of your energy in the future, which doesn't exist yet, or the past, which is literally kind of doesn't really exist either, right? We have right now, you're missing all the beautiful things coming in right now. But almost all of us are doing that.
I think it's more than just like, oh, I don't deserve this. Feelings of inadequacy definitely play a part. But I also think, and we talk about this often on our shows, is this fast-paced world that we're in and this distraction, and they don't want us completely grounded and present and happy.
No.
Because then we won't have to buy the thing to make us happy.
That's right. We've become, and who is your best customer ever with anything? Someone who's dependent, whether that be a medication, whether that be sugar, whether that be clothing, whether just consuming drugs, alcohol, guns, whatever the thing that makes us feel good, but we're spending the money. We're spending the money.
All about the money. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
It's crazy.
Who's that? P. Diddy?
Well, that came from the famous
P. Diddy was right, man.
P. Diddy, right?
It was all about
Is
the
it P.
Benjamin.
Diddy? I don't know.
I think it's P. Diddy and the fam, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's P. Diddy. P. Diddy and the fam.
It might have been. But again, at the end of all that, I'm finding myself, now that I've not been, and this gets a little scary, right? Like I left my job a couple of months ago. We had a little bit of a nest egg. I jumped into a new passion adventure, and I've noticed myself, and again, I've been working corporate world the last 18 years. This is the first summer I'm ever home where my kids are off.
Great.
Ever.
That's so great. Wow.
Yes. And my husband's a teacher, so he's all
That's
we're all
awesome.
home. Like, it's insane.
Call me when it gets really insane because that's my life 24/7.
You're up. And you're like, it's so great. Just wait, Ginny. You're going to want to run for the hills. Not long.
Can always come hide in the meditation.
I'd go, this is exactly where I would come. Are you kidding me? Right here. But I'm starting to recognize my actual like nervous system changing, if that makes sense, from not being in the grind.
Yes.
Like, literally, there's times I'm like, I get to go. I'm going to go walk outside. All of a sudden, the things that I'm finding that I didn't realize had any value, like
You're connecting to the earth. You're connecting to yourself. You're
Slowing
connecting
down.
to what's going on around you.
yeah, I'm connecting to my husband. I'm connecting to my kids. I'm
Yes.
connecting to my neighbors.
And that's where these messages come in when we're clearing ourselves of all
Yes.
that stress
Yep.
and chatter and hustling. That's when you get those messages of what you could do. Slow down. That's when you get that, like, hey, why don't you walk over to that flower and like pet it?
Yeah, exactly. And no, I'm not doing mushrooms while I'm off, not working, guys. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. I am. And lately, I've been talking to all the flowers. No, but it's true. We're watching a storm come in. That's been huge because we've had plenty of them, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Watching a storm come in all of a sudden, I have not let myself take that in, because usually I'm like, okay, well, I got a sales call. Okay, well, it's this time I'm going to hit traffic, and oh crap, I forgot what I'm going to do for dinner. Oh, and damn it, I've got to get this for the kids, and whatever's happening. But in that fast paced, there's something very addicting. Clearly now I can see it, that I was very addicted to that crazy fast pace, like you're talking about, that hunt. Even if it was like not fulfilling, it's familiar. And there's always something more to be done. There was never a point where I'm just like, oh, I'm home now, and I'm going to sit and let myself just relax or watch a storm for 10 minutes. No way. Like, it was up in the morning, 100 miles an hour, to the point I was just exhausted to hit the pillow, not having too many of those moments of right now, of just like, let me be in this right now. How do I feel right now? What's inspiring me right now? What good
Tapping
ideas?
into yourself.
Yes. Exactly.
Feeling. And the flip side of that is I'm a stay-at-home mom, but there's always more laundry that I could do. There's always another dish I could wash. There's always something else, like check my email. There's always something I could do to take me out of the moment. So it's almost like whether we're busy or we're not, it's a mindset, right? Happiness is a mindset. It's not a destination. It's not when I get there, then I'm going to allow myself to relax and enjoy the storm. The flower, whatever. I'm going to take the walk. We have to do it busy, or we have to do it not busy.
We have to literally like part the seas of our little crazy life for ourselves, even if for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
To be like, no, I'm making the conscious choice that, no, I'm going to take in this life I'm still living today. I'm going to take in a few minutes of like being present and really taking it in.
And what's coming to me is like, it's almost like this betrayal of the life that I've been given if I'm not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I feel like God is telling me, I gave you this life. You chose your higher self and me. Like, we figured this thing out together, and you're alive now. So every minute that you waste and spin your wheels about freaking
something doesn't matter,
nonsense, that's probably about me. It's probably extremely self-centered. It's probably all about me.
It's probably all about me
and my fear and my ego. And, I probably spend 95% of my day thinking about myself, right? What do we say? In recovery, I'm not much, but I'm all I think about.
I love that phrase because, but you're right. And until we get that magical option of like where people would sometimes face their mortality or something like that, it's not this quick switch. You're right. We don't sit and go, oh, wow, what will I do with these moments that right now I don't have to fight for? Yeah. I don't have to fight for my life right now. It's like, what am I doing with those moments?
Yeah, you said in the last episode, and that's where this kind of was born out of, was I don't have to let it get to that place where I'm facing mortality and I'm like, oh my God, my days are numbered. So now I'm going to really
take it all
enjoy my life.
Right. We could do it right
now. We are allowed. I have to give myself permission, really, is what goes on, and allow myself to enjoy my life. And if I look at it as a duty and a responsibility to enjoy my life, because when I'm in that more peaceful place and I'm not crazed and stressed, I'm thinking about you.
That's exactly right.
I'm thinking about who should I send a card to? Who should I call? Who do I need to check up on? Who haven't I spoken to in a while? I'm looking for connection to either somebody else or to the earth around me.
Meaning that you are going to genuinely be leaving more of yourself, leaving more of that genuine self of Amanda here.
My essence. I'm going to be leaving my energy, right?
Yes.
Like we talk about, that energy never dies. And to know that I am worth that and I'm valuable enough and that my energy is needed and is important and is beautiful. And, and it's all good.
Doesn't need to be spent on worrying yourself into what you're not doing right or what you may fail at or what you may not succeed at. I've said this before, but it's like watering concrete, right? Yeah. It's like you could be watering other things.
Yeah. And all that fear and that worry jams me up, like I said, for those messages of goodness and well-being for myself and others and how I can be of service.
Yeah.
If I got all this crap going on up there, I am not the conduit that I was made to be, that every single one of you listening was put on this planet to be a conduit.
Right. Yes. For a very specific energy, right? It's like everyone has the ability. Yeah. Love of all. Yeah, for sure. You have an ability to put that out in a way that no other vessel will. Ever. And like you said that right before, ever again.
Yeah. And what's so cool is like we all want to be like unique. But I'll tell you, if you decide to be one of those people that instead of scrolling on your phone,
right,
or making yourself busy and doing nothing just to keep busy, you know, but doing everything, but doing nothing, and you take those moments to go sit outside or sit with your kid at the kitchen table and just listen to them. You know, you will be in the unique group of people because most people are not doing that.
It's challenging with the amount of distractions we have around us at any given moment. It takes effort, and it takes the want to and the willingness to be like, all right, I'm going to step out of that flow.
Yeah, I'm going to stop trying to feed my ego and get the dopamine hit. I've said it before. I'll probably say it on every show. It is the chemicals that are driving us.
100%, man. And a bunch of us have a dopamine deficiency.
Yep.
Tons of us.
Yep.
Like naturally, just by the way our wiring is. And
We're
feel
addicted
like,
to it.
Yeah, exactly. We are addicted to it, but we don't have to be.
You know, sometimes I get down on myself where I'm like, okay, well, I know that I should be happy, or I know that I could be doing this, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I know I should be paying more attention to my kids, or I know I should be doing this, and I just choose not to. And it's like, well, why? Why did I choose not to? Sometimes I have to cut myself some slack and give myself some grace just for the simple fact of maybe I just can't do it at the time, or I just don't want to do it at the time, or whatever it is. But more often I'm finding now that I'm turning 43 in a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's my hormones. And I don't think we talk enough about that.
We have not talked about much of that. That is real deal right there.
I've been on a hunt for like the past 6 months to a year to try and find some kind of natural solution to balancing these hormones. I'm perimenopausal.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I am.
Right.
My mother went into menopause when she went through chemo for breast cancer when she was 44.
It kicked her in early.
Yes. So it just put her right into menopause. So she doesn't know when she would have naturally gone in, but she thinks my aunts went in like late 40s. So I'm thinking probably in the next 5 years will probably start. But the perimenopause, I believe, is starting now because some days I just wake up and I can't shake it.
Man.
And I've never been a depressed person.
Right.
I've never really had issues like that. I guess maybe chemicals can change and maybe I am becoming depressed, but I don't think it's that severe.
No, well, your hormones can definitely.
The hormones play head games, right? The fact that I just said maybe I'm depressed, that's my hormones speaking, trying to convince me. It's like a drug. I remember like when I used to be like on drugs, like, you know, and I remember my friend saying, just remember when you start to get crazy, just keep telling yourself it's just a drug. It's just a drug.
It's just the drug,
it's just a drug. So I have to keep telling myself, it's just the hormones. This is not truly who I am.
No. People talk about when their thyroid is not right or hormones or things, how much it can impact and affect how our brain is functioning, how our body is functioning, and how much that can affect how we feel.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, again, another recovery slogan, we say, move a muscle, change a thought. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't. You know, the only thing that works, and I will say, is running.
Always.
Running works every single time without fail.
Wow.
It's the endorphins. I'm addicted to it. That's why I keep running. Not because I love it.
Yeah.
I love the runner's high. I love when I get it.
I have never I love when I hear people say that because I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I've never run enough to get high. I quit is what I do. So tell me about this runner's high you speak of, because and every time I'm like, man, I wish I could get a tap without runner's high because I just stop. I'm all, no. I'm at a mile.
If you want to and you force yourself to do it, it probably comes for me around mile 2.
Really?
Yeah. I have to be, I could see
I find myself laying on the path at mile 2. I'm dying. No, it's not that bad, but I don't know.
Any kind of working out. They just take this class called High Fitness. I love that.
I do like
dance
workout type stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. So, but running works every time.
But it doesn't last. That's how I know it's a high. I come down from it. It lasts for like a few hours. I'm good.
Okay.
And then something just, the hormones and chemicals just kind of take back over, you know, and I get so hard on myself. And then I just have to remember, it's just the hormones. This too shall pass. I'm throwing out a whole bunch of slogans today, but it's gonna pass. And, you know, maybe tomorrow I'll wake up feeling different. I might not feel great, but I'll feel different. And that's how I know that it's hormones.
And this is huge that you're talking about this because I can only imagine, and I'm sure I'm in a similar boat. I'm going to be 46. So, yeah.
I never think of you as older than me. I'm only 4 years older. It's not like...
Yeah. I'm like, you
Only
can
3.
be thinking like that.
You're going to be
It's cool.
46.
You can make me 40 something else.
Because Ginny is adorable.
I
Does
love
not
Amanda.
look-
She's the best. But yes, I hear people talk about menopause and stuff, and they're like, it's like life altering.
Yes. Yeah, we
Life
have 2
altering.
girls. We have 2 girls, 9 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I already warned Jim. I said, Jim, in about 5 years, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
I mean, really, we think Jim builds a bunch of shit now. Let's wait to see. He's going to be building, he's going to have a bunker. I'm going to come over and be like, what's this, Jim? He's going to be like, oh, this is my electronic bunker.
Something I whittled out of the tree in the yard because I didn't know
This is what Jim does. I'll be like, oh, is that a high-tech surveillance system? Yes, I made it out of trees. And I'm hiding from all the women in the house. You're right, though, because you're going to probably be full on in.
Oh,
The
yeah, it's
girls
not
will
gonna
be
pretty.
full on in the other side.
Yeah. So, and I already warned everybody. I said, listen, I told the girls too, I'm like the queen of preparation. If you haven't gleaned that from the conversations
Yeah.
we've been having. The pain prepper is what I call myself in the book.
She's pretty good at prepping.
Yeah, I prep for pain. And some of it is based in reality. Most of it's not. But anyway, I basically said, we're going to have to like really kind of be patient with each other. Like we're not allowed to be mean to each other. We're not allowed to do that. But like, if we get a little snarky, which is a word I learned out in Colorado. I've never heard snarky till I moved
You
here.
had
but-
never heard snarky?
No, I never heard the word snarky.
Yeah,
I
what
learned
is
a
that?
whole new vocabulary out here. But if we're like sarcastic or if we're like a little short with each other, like
Yeah.
we just have to give each other grace and
Yeah.
just let it go and not take it so personally.
Yes.
I mean, I say that now. I could try and set myself up for success here, and yeah, good luck. It's like preparing for loss, right?
Yeah.
How I'm going to feel when
Yeah.
loss comes. It just there's no.
Some of it we're just
preparation.
meant to
just gonna
be
be-
right in it.
Yeah, it's just going to be what it's going to be. So I want to tell you guys out there, if you're in this state of this age where, you're menopausal or you're
Yes.
perimenopausal, whatever it is, don't be so hard on yourself when you're like, but man, everything is so good. Everything is so good. Like my cousin
Right.
said that to me like a couple of months ago. I was telling her like I was feeling depressed and feeling good. She's like, how is that possible with all the good things going on for you?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, it seems crazy. Like
Mhm.
it's chemical. So don't be so hard on yourself.
Man, that is the greatest advice, especially as women. We have a tendency to do it anyway.
Yeah,
Like
with or without.
with or without
hormones.
that happening. But then you start throwing in that factor. That's a massive deal. And people don't talk about it. I don't hear a
Yeah.
lot of people talk about it. So this is huge that you're saying it now, because I can guarantee you there's people that are going to be like, yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, if we start talking about it more, it's almost part of the women's lib because,
Mhm.
like, we're just bitches, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Let's just make us all bitches. Maybe we're not bitches. Maybe we're suffering from a chemical imbalance that's making us a little loopy.
Yeah. And maybe you're a bitch. All right.
Bitch.
All right. Look here. Just because you don't have all this estrogen that I have. Okay. No, kidding. But it's true.
And if there are men out there, I want you to know that you're not above this either because I read in a Men's Health magazine like
Yeah.
20 years ago, men have cycles.
I believe it. Well, of course, your testosterone levels have to change too, right?
Yeah.
They change. I mean,
Yeah, you guys are not above this or immune to this. So
right.
if
Midlife
you,
crisis. That's kind of what that whole
maybe
thing
that's
is.
when that whole shift happens where the chemicals and everything changes. Our bodies change every 7 years, right?
You got to figure it in terms of like continuing the human race. Our biggest superpower is men have a part of them that can help create a human, and we have what it takes to carry a human. So when that thing starts to diminish, I'm sure there's this
yeah,
sense
that's
of like, oh shit, my whole purpose for being here.
that's
like,
interesting.
The chemicals are going away. The whole point
Mm-hmm.
for the race to continue
Yes.
on. So there's got to be something almost like a grieving in a weird way. Your body's like,
yeah.
oh shit, we're almost done being useful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I never thought of it that way. But yes,
It just came to me right now in the meditation cave.
that's right. That's why we're here, baby.
Why we're here. No, but really, there's
Yeah.
got to be something to that.
Yeah, like innate, like something going on in our subconscious. This innate need and desire to procreate is now gone.
It's gone. It's your most powerful thing you've got. Not
and
gonna be
everything is
doing it.
being flipped upside down on a cellular level, and everything is
Yes.
being changed and shifted because when your chemicals change, your cells, everything is changing as you age.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of different moving pieces to this, not being able to move a muscle and change a thought. So men and women, I just highly recommend that we all just go a little bit easy on ourselves and
Have
just,
some grace for yourself.
yeah, and
All of
just,
us.
yeah, and keep telling yourself, this is just the hormones. This is just the hormones. This is not who I truly am.
This is what comes after that. Like, what comes after the crazy? There's got to be some level.
You level off. You level
and
off.
you're good. And then you're like in the, I don't give a shit. I will say what I want phase.
Pretty
maybe.
much. Pretty much.
So you're like, I've earned being able to say exactly what I want. I don't care what people think anymore.
I guess you're more even keeled that you don't have those ups and downs that enhance the self-doubt or enhance the questioning of, oh, did I say that? Should I not have said that? And age, right? You just settle into who you are. You're more wise. You're more confident. You realize what's important in life. I like aging. I really don't mind it.
I have said the same thing to people when they're like, wait, how old are you? And I'm like, listen, I really should have been and could have been dead a long time ago. So every year I get above
is a gift.
Is a gift. But I really hope to be, if I get to live a long life, I hope that I'm that person that's like, yeah, my back hurts or whatever, but this is pretty cool. Yeah. I hope I get to enjoy the wisdom. But back to what we're talking about, we got to start learning how to enjoy the moments now.
Right now. So I guess the challenge this week would be try to appreciate the tiny things. The smaller it is, the better. Tiny thing. What's a couple examples in my blog? Like a glass of lemonade. My kids are, I don't know if you saw, they're setting up a lemonade stand. They made like $35 yesterday. People threw a 20. I was like, whoa.
I was like, check these
They're
kids
so cute.
out.
They're like so the cutest thing. I don't need to sell books. I could just get them hustling on the sidewalk and we're good. So
why just have them sell your books at the lemonade stand?
Wow. Boom.
There you go.
Have one on
display.
On display, you know. You can have Lila out there reading like a sample paragraph.
And then if the kids show up, just be like, listen, your mom really will gain a lot from this. Just tell her. Okay, Randy, just tell her that. Just go get your mom. She wants my mom's book. Trust me. Here, take this lemonade with you.
And a treat for your dog because we're giving out free dog treats. My kids know how to work it.
Oh, you are missing a great opportunity. Get your books out there.
So yes, appreciate the glass of lemonade.
Yes.
Appreciate the song on the radio. Appreciate even the raindrops. Just appreciate like the little things that really are the big things. And be happy now. Like let whatever you have be enough. Be enough. Yeah. We all know about the law of attraction.
Yes.
So it's true. You are not going to get any of those other things, even the self-worth or the self-fulfillment, if you don't feel happy or try to be grateful or try to be present now. You are programming the universe what to send you.
Yes, we are a frequency. We are energy. Like you hear that being said, but it's true.
It's true.
Like a radio station, if you're sitting there like, I really feel like listening to, 90s rap music, but you turn it on to the country station, never at any point are you going to hear 90s rap. Yeah. You're just going to hear country because of what you're tuned into. It's the same thing. If you're tuned into the idea that you're lacking, you're going to have the environment bring to you, the frequency will be lack.
Yes.
And if you have it, things are enough and I'm abundant and things are, I can enjoy right now, the universe will take that signal you're sending out and bring it back. It's so true. I've watched it. I've been a part of that at times, watching how letting yourself feel what it's going to be like.
Bodying it right now.
Right now.
That's a whole power positive thinking thing. So that's a book by Norman Vincent Peale. Have you heard of the power positive thinking?
No.
So that book was written in the 50s. And that, I'm sure his concepts were taken from scripture. They talk about praying in the book. But it's funny because we talk about all these new age, quote unquote,
that we think it's new,
that are really old age concepts. They're just reintroduced now because we are living in a time with this evolution of consciousness we talk about where people are ready to receive this stuff. And it's being talked about by many different people, which is necessary. Different people hear things differently, the way it's presented. So we need to continue parroting almost, throwing our own individual spins on this information so that other people can pick it up. But Norman Vincent Peale in The Power of Positive Thinking, he talks about that. So visualize. You have to actually visualize yourself doing it. We have another phrase. This must be like the recovery slogan day.
It is. They work.
Fake it till you make it. I know a lot of people don't like that phrase. I've heard some dissension about that, but this is kind of what it means.
Right.
Pretend like you have it. See yourself already doing it, already in it.
What does that feel like? Let yourself feel what that feels like.
Yeah.
Because usually it's not the, oh, when I have $1 million, I'll feel better. It's actually the, oh, it's the stability that comes with the $1 million. That's what I was looking for.
The feeling, it's the energy. So you're creating a
Right.
new energy. You're birthing a new energy out into the world specific to you being in that place. And I'm doing a lot of hand talking, Ginny.
I love it.
My Italiano's.
I love when the Italiano comes out.
So you have to create the frequency, create the energy, see yourself in it already. And then he talks about prayerize, and you pray on it. And he says prayerize. I don't think it's a word, but pray on that thing if that's your thing. And then actualize. And you're going to actualize it. So by creating this energy and stepping into it and embodying it, you're programming the universe and telling the universe, I am ready to receive it. And then taking that a whole step further, we touched on gratitude. This is a new concept that I've been hearing. And it's not new. Again, it's not new.
It's just not new.
It's resurfacing from the chronicles of spiritual learnings.
Yes.
Be grateful for that thing that you are envisioning
Waiting
yourself.
to happen almost. Like already have the gratitude for it being present.
Yes.
That's
This is, I think, the next thing you're going to, whoever's listening to this, you're probably going to hear this now and be aware of this new idea of be grateful for getting that thing that you want.
Instead of feeling the lack of why you don't have it.
Exactly. You've got it. It's here. You're it. You're there. You're whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Put yourself in there. Close your eyes. See yourself doing it. And then feel grateful for it.
Yeah. Almost in a way that you let yourself, like when we were young and you could pretend, like, oh, I'm pretending right now I am an astronaut. And you're like doing it like almost suspending what we've learned as our belief, like letting yourself suspend your own belief system enough to go, I'm actually going to let myself feel that it genuinely is here. Because that's when you're creating that frequency that it is, and then it will be.
You have brought it into reality.
Yeah.
Not reality as physical form that I can see it with my eyes, into a spiritual reality. You have created space for it out there in your soul, out there in the ethers, and then your spirit guides, your higher self, whatever it is you think out there is helping you, they're going to work hard because they're like, okay, she's
ready.
She's ready.
Yep.
She's ready. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the whole shebang right there, people.
The whole shebang.
Listen to any 5 minutes of this podcast, that's it.
Yes. Let yourself feel the gratitude of what that thing is that you think is going to bring the wholeness, the peace, the happiness.
Yeah. Even if it's just feeling inside and not like a thing outside of you.
But sometimes it is. It's like, well, once I lose that 20 pounds, I will feel more valuable, or I will feel like, let yourself feel
that now. Like look in the mirror and see yourself 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
See yourself in that bikini.
Yep.
See yourself in the bikini now, so you get on the treadmill.
Right.
But see yourself in the bikini 20 pounds lighter. And if it's truly what your soul wants, it will come.
It will.
But guess what? If it doesn't come, it's just what you thought you wanted.
Yes.
But you didn't really.
Right. What it really was you were looking to lose the 20 pounds to feel good, but it was like you're looking to lose the 20 pounds because you want to have the self-value and the self-love. That's the other part of it too, right? Knowing what it is we are trying to fill.
Yeah. And maybe if you don't bring that into reality where you lose the 20 pounds, maybe you feel more comfortable.
Exactly.
Having a little bit more weight on you. Maybe you actually like how your butt looks in those jeans. Right. Maybe it's not what society views as sexy or worthy or whatever, but maybe deep down inside you're like, hell no, I'm not going to subscribe to those standards.
Exactly.
And I'm going to be whatever weight I want to be. I'm going to be whatever I want. So maybe that's truly what's in your soul. So that's what keeps you out of whatever goal you're looking to achieve. Because you can't lie to the universe. The universe knows. God knows. Your spirit knows.
Yep.
What the truth is and what you truly want, and that is always going to manifest.
If you can be clear, if you know what it is, all I have to do is be clear. And a lot of times it takes some honesty with yourself too, of being like, well, I think that I want the new car, but that's not what it is. It's not the new car. I'm searching for self-worth. It's self-worth I'm really, really after, because I feel like people will respect me more if they see me in this car, or value.
When it comes down to it, you're probably going to achieve that sense of value, self-worth, all that differently. It's not going to play out exactly as you thought it was, but it most likely will eventually come to you because that is the driving force and the energy that you're putting out. So you'll probably get that thing if you get honest with yourself about what it's really about.
Yeah.
You're just going to get it in a different way.
Yep. And then you'll realize too, you'll be like, oh, it wasn't necessarily the thing itself. It was what that embodied. It's what it represented for me in my mind. And that's really unlocking the secret. Well, what is it that I'm really looking for?
Mm-hmm.
And when we do this and slow down, because like you're saying, this is a great challenge because you can, if you can let yourself be like taking and smelling in the rain. That happened to me for the first time last week it went back in New Mexico because it rained while we were there, which was amazing because that never happens.
Oh, cool.
But there's something different about the smell hitting the soil there. I had the chance to do that, of like taking a really big smell of like, oh my gosh, there's that smell of rain hitting desert earth.
That's cool.
But we have those moments anywhere all the time. You could be, oh my gosh, look at that. Check out that bird. Whoa, that bird's in mid-flight.
And what's cool is that nobody else is seeing that same bird in mid-flight right there. Nobody else is standing in the exact place in New Mexico that you were when you smelt that rain.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that you can be happy about or be good or fall into a place of gratitude or humility. So it's taking this stuff down to like a very minute level and going really far in at the same time. So even though we're getting simple, again, keep it simple. Simple.
That's weird. I've never heard that, Amanda. Did you get that from somewhere where they have great slogans? Because you've had a lot of them today. Man, I love it. They actually really are really good.
Yeah, and you know, when I first got to the rooms of recovery, I didn't understand them. Like
a lot of them?
Now I had no idea how they were so important and true, and especially suffering in my time of need after Jeremy died, and I could barely tie my shoes. These slogans just came back, and it's because they're so simple and they're so true and they're so valid and they just are so universal. So keep your life simple and appreciate the small stuff. It's so trite, but like we've all been saying the same stuff for so long. It is time to just do it. Just step into it.
Yes.
If you really want it.
Right.
If you don't, keep doing whatever you're doing. Maybe it is working for you somehow. I don't know. But I know for me, I'm not happy with myself at the end of the day. Right. I let all that time go by and I didn't stop for a minute to go sit outside on this beautiful sectional built by Jim.
Yes.
And watch the aspen trees shimmer in the light. That's like my favorite thing.
Period of gratitude, man.
Yeah. Appreciation.
I'm sorry. The period of appreciation.
Same thing.
Hey, you can add on.
Yeah.
You could take gratitude also.
Yeah. Period of appreciation.
Period of yes. Gratitude. But yes, I think it's happening more for a lot of us as a whole species, as humanity. I think there's more people that are searching for something a little deeper because we're trying to evolve past these things. And good chance you were too. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening to us ramble about this crazy shit.
Yeah. So it's really cool that all this stuff has been here waiting for us to pick it up. And there have been people who've been picking it up throughout the years. But like Ginny said, it's more of like on a mass scale. Where so many people are being called to level up, to get to some kind of next level. And hopefully today we've given you some tools to do that. Hopefully we're leaving you feeling positive and that this stuff is within reach.
Absolutely. It's within reach, and how much you're needed in the sense that you have the ability to affect even the person next to you and giving them permission to do the same when you have the courage, or you just let yourself be in a moment. That's going to impact those around you and give them permission to do the same.
Totally. When I'm just out and about and I'm feeling good and I'm on the beam and I'm like, saying hi to everybody. I'm just in like that good space. I don't know who I'm affecting. Maybe Charlie at the supermarket was going to go home and kill himself.
You never know.
Maybe now he's not going to. Like, we have that kind of power.
Every single human being that is walking around.
You don't know how you're affecting people. So again, it's like a duty and an obligation. I go back to that sense of responsibility, like you said, to be in this space of letting life be good right now, because that's where all the beauty is.
Oh, yeah. And there's a lot that we're cheating ourselves out of a lot of beauty in these lifetimes we get because we're very caught in these other things. We talk about how easy it is to get tripped up in. So That's what we want for you today, is to gain a few more of those little beautiful moments. These are the things that build up our whole lives, and our reaction with those moments, it's what we leave here when we're done.
Yeah.
It's what we leave with the people that love us when we leave here. So let yourself have that reaction.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
And we talked a lot about the fear of failure, fear of success, self-sabotage, all these hormones, like the reasons why. But like when it really comes down to it, like, yes, it is important to understand where things come from in order to heal. But really, at the end of the day, you don't really even need to know why you're feeling a certain way or why you're acting a certain way. You just need to shift the energy into something positive and practice these things, gratitude, all the stuff that we were talking about today, and watch it just get better. And then maybe over time, clarity will come if you really want to figure things out.
Right.
If you just step into it right now and just do it and try and practice it, we hope you get some results.
Yes, I believe you will. Plus, it's Gemini season, so boom, let's do this.
Yeah, baby. Get out there, make the world a better place.
Yes.
We will do the same and smile for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the last little tidbit. Just put a smile on your face, your brain will respond, and you'll feel better. And know that we're smiling with you.
Absolutely. We thank you guys so much for continuing to hang out with us. It means everything. And you're helping us continue to evolve and rise into being the best people that we can. So thank you guys so much. And we can't wait to hang out with you again.
Yes. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
If this podcast resonates with you and you want to dive deeper, check out my blog, Get Real, all in on love, loss, and connection at AmandaMcCoyFlanagan.com. That's McCoy with a K. You can also follow me on Instagram at Amanda McCoy Flanagan.
See you next time. Until then, let that soul rise.